Mike, personally, how much did having a defense not up to your standards last year push you here this offseason and is driving you now?
Well, I'll tell you, Joe, I'm not used to that level of performance from one of our groups. And so, um, honestly, we've had some of the best. It's crazy because all the coaches are in the building here now, but we've had some of the best meetings that I've had in 8 years probably. I mean, we're dissecting every little thing that we do, going through it, like I said before, going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. I've been really impressed with the coaches that are in there, but also just all, the offenses has changed so much in the last 4 or 5 years. It's time that we need to do some things differently and change and adapt. And so I'm actually really excited. I can't wait to get back on the field with the players and get them going.
Mike, did the defensive priorities that you had kind of outweigh everything else? And I'm wondering with just how much resources, how much money was spent and allocated towards the defense, how do you balance that out, still having several holes to fill on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, well, our offense has been pretty darn good. They're sixth in the league last year. We do have some holes, that we'll fill, but we've still got time to do that. There's still a lot of players out there right now, and there'll be some in the draft. But yeah, I mean, when we looked at the defense and after the season evaluated, it was pretty barren in there, and so we had to address that. And honestly, at the end of the season, I was kind of down in the dumps when I kept looking at the depth chart and knowing what kind of salary cap space we had. And so, like I said, Rob's done and Rick have done an unbelievable job doing that. And they've got me rejuvenated with the guys that they've brought in and the players that they've been to help. And then you've got guys like Anthony Barr who he decides to restructure his contract because he wants to be here. You got guys like Stephen Weatherly and McKenzie and a lot of these other guys that really want to be here, and Patrick Peterson. And so those kind of things get me excited.
All right, Mark, followed by Chad.
Yeah, Mike, you talked about said it was time for you to make changes. Are these, I know you can't give details, but in general, are these tweaks or are these big changes, and what made you finally realize that?
Well, number one thing that we want to do on defense is we want to play fast. We want to play physical. We don't want to be thinking, and the offenses lately have been getting us to think because we've had to adjust to here and adjust there and do this and do that. And, some of these things we've talked about, and it's just too hard to implement during the season. So, some of it is, some of it is big change and some of it is minor tweaks. But the thing that I've been impressed with, and I told coaches this today, these meetings that we've had, if we were in 12 different cities and doing this on a Zoom meeting, we couldn't get this done. We're sitting in a room, we're watching tape together, we're going over everything. We get on the blackboard, or the whiteboard now, get out and talk about, okay, if they do this, how do we do this? What if they line up and do this? And all the different scenarios that are going through our minds that we don't have to try to get done in 3 days getting ready for a game.
Mike, you talked about Dalvin Tomlinson earlier. What do you like specifically about, the potential of pairing him next to Michael Pierce and having two, pretty big bodies in the interior of that defensive line?
Well, I think Barr and Kendricks will like it even more because they'll have two big guys, two space eaters that have athletic ability that can win on one-on-ones, hold the double teams for those two guys, and Kendricks is another guy back that we missed the last 5 ball games too. So, we've added, Hunter, Pierce, Barr, who missed the whole year, Tomlinson, Peterson. I mean, it's going to look completely different when we get out there, and I'm excited about the whole crew. But those two guys specifically, they're both great guys. They're both really, really good run players who can push the pocket, and I think that's going to help not only Hunter and Barr and Wanham and Weatherly, some of these other guys we have.